Man, I'm tired already. But, it's Thursday, 3 a.m., so you know what time it is. It's time for Titans Season 4, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're continuing the season here after our 2-episode premiere last week, which I'd say the season was off to a great start. And it continues here in Episode 3. I'd say it's not going downhill yet like Season 3 did, but then again, that had a 3-episode premiere, which was excellent, and then right from there, it went whoosh, poof. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this. But of course, I gotta be a little skeptical. But anyways, guys, so like I said, we just got episode 3, Jinx, on HBO Max. Just came out this morning. So of course, spoiler warning if you haven't seen it yet. But we are gonna go ahead and jump in this and break down Titans Season 4, Episode 3, titled Jinx. So we open this episode with a bit of clarification for what happened at the end of last episode, where of course we had Mother Mayhem attack the Titans. They all went in one by one, really stupid team plan, but they did it, and they were defeated one by one. And the big thing at the end of that is that Raven's powers were stolen. She is now missing the chakra. Her hair is turned like bleach blonde. It's like white now. So the big confusion here was like, okay, what just happened? What happened to Raven's powers? Does Mother Mayhem have them now? We find out that she kind of does. So she stole Raven's powers and is able to put them into her staff. And she mentions how they were never hers in the first place, and so she's just taking them back, which makes sense because we know Mother Mayhem and the Church of Blood, they got their whole thing with Azarath. Azarath is where Rachel is originally from. So that definitely pretty cool. But as for the Titans themselves, and kind of getting to the title part of this episode with Jinx, Dick and Corey go to Jinx, who is a criminal, a magic-based criminal. So Dick kind of goes to her thinking like, we're dealing with a magic problem here. I don't know anything about magic, so let's get help from somebody who does, like Jinx, who of course in the comics is a classic Teen Titans villain. Grew up watching her on all the cartoons, so we have our live-action adaptation of the character here. Honestly, I think it was a great version of the character. I really enjoyed this version of Jinx. So Dick and Corey go to meet her for help, and she's currently in prison, but then, of course, the guards being stupid. Like, I thought it was so weird when he was talking to them and he was like, oh, have you ever let her out before? Nope. She's been in incarceration this whole time. So it's like, okay, why are you letting her out now? Why? And if they're going to, why would they not take more precautions? Because literally as soon as she takes her shoe off and steps on the ground, boom, she turns into a tornado. She escapes prison. Like that was kind of a stupid moment right there. But anyway, Jinx escapes from prison, so of course she goes back to get revenge and steal the thing that she was trying to steal before she got put in prison. So Dick knows exactly where she's going, so he and Corey go meet up with her again. But when they do, Starfire, Corey actually ends up getting turned to stone. It's not really like super explained how exactly that even happened, but basically now Dick's like, alright, we gotta figure out how to do this. So Jinx takes him to a club. Meanwhile, we get a little bit of backstory here. We find out that Dick and Jinx used to be a thing, or maybe not officially a thing, but they definitely did some things, if you know what I mean. I mean, with her line about like, I thought you liked it when I was on top, ooh la la. So clearly they have history there together. But then turns out that there was this time that Dick was going after Two-Face, and so Dick turned her in to Constantine, which is great to get a name drop in reference to John Constantine here. That's great, kind of expanding the universe. Doubt we'll actually ever see Constantine show up here, but if we do, I'm hoping it's Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan is the perfect John Constantine, and plus we just got John Constantine played by Matt Ryan on the Harley Quinn show, and we know that there's going to be some crossovers coming up with Doom Patrol and Stargirl, so maybe get a little Constantine crossover in here as well. That'd be pretty awesome, but for now, just a little name drop. And so basically after this, you get this whole interaction at the club. Basically turns out Jinx was using him the whole time, so they go back to Corey. Jinx frees her, and Corey was having her own little visions, which visions is the thing of this show. Like the major plot device of this show of getting characters from one place to another or getting them to learn something is just using these crazy visions. Every single character on this show has had some sort of vision at one point or another, and I'm not a huge fan of it, especially because a lot of the time it feels like it doesn't really do much. Like with Corey's here, like, it's definitely setting something up, but I don't know what it is. Like, there's not enough clarification there, so we'll see where that goes. But anyway, the day is saved, I guess. Corey's all good now. But by the end of this, Jinx does decide and does actually end up teaming up with Dick and Corey and decide to kind of become a member of the Titans and help them take on Mother Mayhem. So that's definitely pretty cool there. But then we have our thing going on with Tim Drake. So he goes back to Star Labs. He is going to begin his Robin training, which was pretty great here. Him testing out his bow staff and everything. More interaction between him and Bernard, which is cool that we know they're setting up their romance. We saw actually in the season trailer that they are officially a thing. We saw them kissing, which is still kind of a little bit weird because the guy that plays Bernard is like in his 30s and Jay Lycurgo is, well, not. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he's training to be Robin, and Connor's there as well. He's really bringing out his Lex Luthor side here, doing some research on the Cult of Blood, or Church of Blood, and, you know, going over the symbols, and he finds this guy named Sebastian Sanger, so he finds out more about him, and basically finds out that, oh, this may be the next victim. Meanwhile, Sebastian in this episode actually gets a call from Mother Mayhem, but she is actually impersonating the voice of that game developer guy who declined him and rejected him in last episode of his meeting, but he says now, like, oh, we reconsider, we want to meet again, blah, blah, blah. So he goes in, and this guy's super confused. He's like, nah, bro, I rejected your idea, we're not using it, you're crazy. And then all of a sudden, this guy grabs some scissors and stabs him through his eyes, which then leads to, of course, the police coming in, which I don't know how. This is the second time it's happened this season, where coincidentally, after somebody dies, you know, all the police and, like, the guards just suddenly come rushing in, literally seconds later, and so, of course, Sebastian is blamed for the murder right there, and then he is taken to prison, and Mother Mayhem, of course, visits him in prison because that's her whole plan. That's why she did all that. But before he can say Zinthos, because she's trying to corrupt him into the Church of Blood, she's trying to get him to say Azarath, Metreon, Zinthos. And he says Azarath, he says Metreon. But before he can get to Zinthos, Connor and the Titans pop in. They kidnap him. And so we'll see where that goes in the next episode. But to end off the episode, let's talk about Gar. Because as we saw in the first episode of the season, Garfield Logan is having some visions of his own, where with this new suit and his powers, things are being awakened within him. He keeps having these visions where he'll, like, wake up in this red world, and there's this big tree with a bunch of possums on it, or at least what I thought was possum. Turns out it's just a bunch of dead animal skeletons hanging from a tree, like Christmas ornaments, which is kind of disturbing. But today, in this episode, he takes Rachel into this red world vision, and it's interesting how at the end, he says something about, like, these are trophies that are signifying, that are telling him, when the blood moon is full, the world will follow you. And that's where the episode ends. So, what does that mean? Well, clearly I'm guessing the reason this world is red, because, you know, the blood moon, probably a connection to the Church of Blood, you know, just put one and one together there. And the world will follow you. So it kind of sounds almost like a prophecy type thing of, like, oh, when the blood moon is full, Beast Boy will take over. But that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not even a message for him, but actually instead a message for Raven, because we know she has more direct connections to Azarath, and I don't know what Beast Boy would have to do with the blood moon or any of this stuff. Some people were theorizing that, oh, maybe the powers within Beast Boy are kind of worried about this coming kind of doomsday with the blood moon, and so kind of in an almost Swamp Thing type way is kind of warning him so that he can help prevent this. That's kind of what I'm going with. Some people talk about, like, oh, it's like a Swamp Thing. I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but it's definitely really interesting. Again, all the stuff that happens in this episode is cool, and it's definitely setting up stuff, but I don't know where it's going. So, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about Titans Season 4, Episode 3, Jinx on HBO Max? So, anyways, guys, all thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.